as I thought about what to chit chat for the day, this comes to mind. Your contribution to the world is you. How you live, how joyful you are, everything has an impact. Thank you, Sadhguru. And the fact that the functional adults, this is beautiful. We don't feel shame or blame or fault. We know how to feel good with our imperfections and our flaws and then to talk about it. That's why love knocks at our door only when it is a person who knows how to use their thoughts and emotions and be authentic. And that means it's not a push and pull and it's not a projection. It's a conversation, always, not just sometimes. You'll know love when knock, knock, who's there? Someone who makes you smile, who empowers you, who talks to you. And it's not because they tell you what you want to hear, it's because you feel it from your body. But this is the number one place that people don't have a relationship with their divine feminine. So as long as you don't have a relationship with your full basic six human emotions, and that means the capacity of you not throwing them at people, okay, your gut, it might be a bit off. Because I'm going to say, if you have any charges and you're unaware, one, you're not a functional adult yet because you're going to be throwing them. Humans are evil, men are evil, women are evil, versus identifying the charges, identifying biases, identifying your thoughts, identifying all that comes up, and then chit chatting. Okay, so love, how do you know if it's love? It's when you can be yourself. Always, not sometimes. When people are accepting you for who you are, they're going to do so in a way that helps you to feel more of you, not the opposite. If you feel constricted, that's for your self awareness and you can bring forth physical mastery. You will also know that that's not the type of romantic love. So if you're here for romantic love, the number one thing I have to say to you is that romantic love is not hard work. It is not perfection. Twin flame and flames are a real deal, but it's not because of people not doing work. So I have 40 mystics out there trying to say now that twin flames is fake. They just don't have a twin flame or twin flames, so it's okay. They don't know the experience, you know. And so anyone who's going to go anywhere and basically decide that a whole group of people who have a twin flame or flames are exempt, meaning they don't exist. It's fascinating, isn't it? But let me leave that alone. Again, love is about you and I, two people, being able to communicate. So if it's romance, it's because you consistently show up. And consistently, we have conversations. What you can understand is that a person who didn't get shown equanimity in their home, equanimity is the unflappable, empowered tone of a person who speaks to you, not gets reactive and not gets charged and not is a scary monster. Because that's what a sympathetic nervous system is to human beings. So when a child gets suppressed, it's very straightforward because I didn't get suppressed. I will not want to be around a man or a woman or a they that has a sympathetic. I will immediately, as I notice them being in their sympathetic, get uncomfortable, unhappy, and want to go. I don't have to be around you. You're an option. I'm an option, and I don't like you. Because whatever is going on in there has nothing to do with me, and you're not a functional adult who wants to actually learn to self regulate. I'm just saying. So, if I present to you the mood, the tone, and you're not wanting to take ownership, I don't have to be in a room with you. And that's exactly why for the functional adult community, our gut says, no way, Jose, this isn't what a relationship is. We don't have unfinished business, excuse me, or I don't, your host. And so to me, you bring me your mood, I'm going to tell you about your mood because that's the same thing that I got told when I was getting my tone, my tone comes up. So I know how to be self-aware and I know how to be accountable and then to say, okay, I'll re-regulate. I'll calibrate. Okay, are we ready to keep talking? But I will calibrate. Why? Because our actual social engagement system is where our mammalian heritage is. And the sympathetic is only for when there's lions, bears, and tigers. So while some people are okay with dynamics in romance that are of push pull, not the passionate Neapolitan family yelling at each other. Okay, so let's remember there's a lot of different equations here. I'm saying there are people who are actively in relationships that are with low self-esteem, indirect communicators, they're into limerence. They're into it completely. They are people who also do this thing where they come in and out, and they notice that there's this level of addiction, and then they also can notice that there's this thing of because anywhere you go online, you're going to find information. But the point is, they don't try to get out of it. And that's why when you meet the good therapists who highlight how people who don't go to childhood therapy, meaning they're grown-ups, they have childhood trauma, and they don't end up going, and they keep dating people that are in a specific caliber. So your gut is very important. If you have been used to a not safe haven and a not secure based household. So if you have been used to having a home where you did not get secure attachment, you're going to feel that it's weird when love, knock knock, who's there? I'm consistency. I'm unconditionally loving. I welcome you with all your moods, but I will tell you, stand down, because right now you're being pissy for no other reason except for I don't know what happened, but I don't want to hear it. And I'm not saying I want to suppress you. I'm just saying, can you not get into this mood? Like, are we really going to have a 24 hours with your mood swings, So that's where, of course, we understand that it's a process. So some people, they have a process, and I know that the ones who are putting their best foot forward, so I see people who are healing from their borderline personality lens, the narcissism lens, the sociopathy lens, the psychopathy lens, all of the personality disorder lenses. They can work with themselves to minimize and to get into what is, I think the word they use is remission, but I don't remember. And so again, healing trauma one person at a time. It starts with oneself, and then with our relationships, and relational trauma is what's passed down those people who stay in the codependent type relationships, but they tell you that that's what love is. And what I can tell is they're not willing to hear the attachment trauma information from a self-help, pseudoscience, woo-woo spiritual lady, because I tell anyone I can about the great news. You don't have to have hell in the body. You can get out of shame and have love in the body. And you can be a completely empowered 3-year-old, 1-year-old, and say, I want to build snow people and mer people. Do you want to build? You're beautiful, but don't bring your attitude. Stop ruining my castle. I don't want, no ruining my castle. You know what? Go ruin your own castle, because this is unnecessary. We got busy. We have a lot of things to do. The oceans need us. The land needs us. People need us, and you're destroying a castle. And I'm not kidding right now, okay? So I'm saying our relationships, those of you who are going to come over to IHP, those of you who are wondering what love is easy. It's straightforward, but the double layer is important. So I'm speaking from it's easy here and it's easy here. No rumination, no human suffering in the brain. It's called, I have my prefrontal cortex. It's called that you are able to straddle between the worlds of thoughts and emotions from your prefrontal cortex, not the temporal junction, the prefrontal cortex, which then also means you're engaging in the opportunity to practice equanimity. That's the neutrality in duality that the inner growth mindset of the advanced place of the online course shares with you. So you're not saying bad emotions, good emotions, bad thoughts. No, neutrality and duality. Here's the land of truth. I'm being equanimous. I'm learning how to maintain my divine masculine, my divine feminine, and then to present who I am. And then to keep on engaging. And that's why it's a functional adult love language. So you learn how to expand you. Oh, and love, when it knocks at your door, it's always you get to be you and they get to be them. But that's for when there's a self-empowered woman, man, or they in front of you. And so that means they're not afraid of losing you from their pocket. And that's because, why would I lose you? Two people, twin flame, flames, soulmates, doesn't matter what the word is, two human beings. It's not about work. Knock, knock, who's there? It's love. It's free. It's unconditional, because I know how to use my mouth with integrity, tell you all the truth of the truth of the truth, and my moral basic principles. You treat me the way I want to be treated and the way you want to be treated, which is going to be with honesty, kindness, compassion, understanding, and an open brain of communication. It's not hard being a functional adult. Pacha. It's I shake. Don't shake if you don't mean it. And the minute you backhand me I won't switch and treat you with the backhand, because the backhandedness is the 0 1 year old attached panicky, the 3 to 7 shame submissive, and that's called your unconscious. And you got implicit and explicit memory, and your first 3 years of life, they matter a whole buttload. So for you, being in a relationship means that you are consistently in a hypervigilant state and fighting. You're going to have to be the one who knows. There's attachment coaches, they call secure attachment boring. It's not boring to be in a safe haven, secure base, but the only people who can understand why they would feel that it's off, and then how the honey is what you want, because love is easy, and love is kind, and love is always, and love sounds like it is, and it's beautiful. And it's beautiful to have functional adults out there. So welcome aboard. If you have more questions, and I think I'm going to revisit this specific conversation, because I do know why people have a hard time knowing when is it knock knock, I'm love for real. And it's because of the sense of self that is absent from those who don't say, I am, use your human name, I'm a 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old, teenager, and then go all the way up to whatever age. And I emotionally and mentally am going to present you with integrity who I am, not what you want to hear. What my morals are, which are going to be basic. I physically respect your space. I physically respect the law. I physically use my intellect and my emotional plane to talk, and I don't need to lie. I don't want to lie. Why would I lie? Why would I not want to share with you? If I don't want to share my life with you, what am I doing? If I'm miserable with you, what am I doing? If I don't wake up and I'm happy to wake up next to you, what am I doing? If I'm not seeking with all my excitement to get to share with you something, what am I doing? The part about how you feel, and I'm trying to again describe it, because there are those who get into the idea of it being something that's not this. This consistently stays. It does not die down. It does not necessarily move up. It consistently stays. When you find people that you love to be with and they love to be with you, you consistently feel soft, safe, and happy. And then you have your passionate conversations with my lovely family. We're from Naples, Italy. The majority of us, some are also American, but they get used to being in our lovely dynamics. And so there's a lot of, lovely yelling going on, but not in a way of being angry. It's just the passion. So what I'm trying to say, though, is the love is a constant, and the enjoyment of each other is the constant. That's when you know love has knocked at your door. It's not hard work. The part that I have noticed, what happens with couples, I'm 44, and I'm now talking about healthy self-worth couples. The people who don't notice that they have low self-esteem, indirect communication, passive-aggressive manners, that they have porous boundaries, and that they continue to basically not go and get their 1 year old up and 3 year old. Okay, so people who accept codependent type relationships of push-pull, that's a whole different group. I'm not talking to that group right now. That group won't be at IHP, because that group will consistently justify anything that is in an energy that isn't adding. I've seen it. I continue to see it. Between spiritual bypassers, mantles of mental health, the savior complex people, they're all over it. They're all over everything. There's even therapists that are completely not healed at all, and they're, in doing therapy. But anyways, putting that aside, when you are a couple that has healthy self-worth, what I've noticed, the moment of struggle, if you will, quote unquote, is where there's a level of boredom, apathy. I don't know what word to use, because see, I have so many different ways that I would be able to talk about this to people in general, but it's where you are the one who works with the plane of your emotional stuff. So if you make life boring from in here, it is, because life isn't boring. Every day is a new day. And so when you're actively in your prefrontal cortex, you know this, which is why you work always with, it's not work though, but you're processing, witnessing, observing, self-aware, accountable, regulating. So this is, you're always on, and that's your pure consciousness, pure energy. This is Purusha Prakriti. And unconsciously loving, you're on that enlightenment high, because why not? That's your social engagement, restorative embodiment, self-aware, prefrontal cortex. And all those other emotions, they come about if they have part in your day, but they last 90 seconds. And so the mixture of emotions that come in, that actually also adds to the day. The couples who get into this thing where they're bored, well, I find that there's a lot that people don't invest their time in. They don't invest their time in interesting subject matters. They don't invest their time in, I don't know, going and doing some activity. They don't invest their time in, I don't know, doing a jigsaw puzzle. There's so many ideas that come to my mind if somebody wants to say or is in this energy of boredom. Oh, what movies you watch, what music you hear. All of that affects your biochemistry. Do you have any sense around? I mean, anything and everything, you name it. So the part about what I notice people don't notice is it's very simple and straightforward to add to that day-to-day life. And to think simple is boring is the actual contradiction, because also as you're thinking it, you can say, wait a minute, why would I think simple is boring? What's boring? You can do so much with a mind that is a creator with thoughts and emotions in the forefront. So when love knocks again, it stays and you feel more and more joyous and more wanting to be around. And if there's any type of boredom, there's ways that one finds that you can fill up that with activities, music, and then the knowingness that it's a good thing if there's simplicity. It means that we're doing great. It means we have, a steadiness, a stability, and then we can go and support more people. So for entrepreneurs, we know that that means we have more time to share with others. The online entrepreneurs, the offline entrepreneurs, for members of society that like to actively participate in their area, they get more time to do that. So the fact is, if you're in any type of relationship together, if you're polyamory or monoamory, there's activities that you can do that will be satisfactory. And when people mention that there's thrill in high risk environments, in using substances, the reality is it's not the biochemistry. I have interoception though, so I can feel that biochemistry when I have different things happening. If I get moments of fear, if I get moments of frustration or anger or something like that, if I get moments of, it's not poison, but I can tell when my biochemistry is different. Okay. And so what I wanted to get at was when I drink a little bit of wine, it's not a wow, how amazing biochemistry. It's not a bad biochemistry either. I'm saying it's not like if I'm sitting with a person that I love and I'm having just a great moment of silence, I'm sharing a moment of silence with them. That is pure bliss. That will enrich you. Even just 1 second of that will be enriching. And then I can compare to you that other sensation of this wine. I'll throw the wine away right away. It's completely, it's like having water that has not been filtered. That's how it feels. I have a relationship as a mystic, but just again, introception with the biochemistry, with the energy. And there's a different energetic imprint as well as a flavor, if you will, when you're in bliss versus when you're intoxicated. Like I said, I love my red wine. I have a little bit of, what is it called, Amaro and things like that. But this is not something that I'm going to say, oh, it makes, no. No, it doesn't. It's enjoyable, but it's not something that's more enjoyable than a blissful moment where you share silence with someone that you are at home with at completely. And in fact, that's exactly why whenever I hear anybody who's like, I'm bored or there's apathy, I'm thinking, you must not sit with each other and consciously look into each other's eyes just for 1 second and just sit there with good music in the background. Try it out, but be consciously present. So for people who appreciate yoga, spirituality, Sadhguru, when people talk to you about being conscious in this way of flow and bliss, this is what it is. And then the fact is, though, people, oh, I have to do it again tomorrow. Are you kidding me? That's the whole point. The whole point is, yes, it's spiritual awakening or spirituality or just life. You're breathing. You woke up. It's an active day to day. Life is a consistency of you proactively participating. So once you're integrated and you're like, yeah, this is me participating, it's not work. It's nice, but that's because you're the one who keeps that scale of I give it meaning, and then also noticing the difference, obviously. Okay, so I have kept you a little bit longer than I thought, but we'll be back with more. In the meantime, thank you for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you're interested in our one-to-one mentorship or the masterclass, you can reach out to me by email. Also, remember we have Ask Maria, the opinionated columnist episodes. That's for audio alone at this time. But once we get to 1K, we will have that membership option on YouTube. Thank you again. And IHP, we like those who have integrity because of self agency, again, self accountability, equanimity. You desire and want emotional maturity, and you have awareness. And we know that all people are on a journey, so we heal trauma one person at a time. And then with our relationships, that's through being functional adults, that love language that allows expansion of consciousness to take place. For my 5D mystics, come on over. There's no saga with our twin flame or flames or soulmates. There's no objectifying of our oversoul. I have a whole different way that I will, if you embark on a journey with me at any point in time, talk to you about what is your oversoul, because it's beautiful for a 5D mystic to know of their oversoul. And as for my polyamory crew, if there are any of you who are looking for a person that supports with self-help personal development to get you to be securely attached in a way that you know you're already working with, if you need additional help, if you struggle with it in a way that is a real struggle, we have Jessica Fern, her book Polysecure, and I believe she is a therapist who takes clients, and she's in favor of supporting the polyamory community completely. So she has a network of people, therapists that work with polyamory individuals, and she shares about how there are those who are not as they won't work with you as well because they don't believe in that type of lifestyle. Okay, so we have therapists who are more of supporting the monoamory community, and that means they're practiced in it. Doesn't mean they're against it. They just find themselves working more with the monoamory. Okay, with that, again, thank you for stopping by. Have a great day.